Welcome to Trust, Then Know, the Jackie Boyd Podcast, a podcast providing education, information, and mostly inspiration that will help you become the best version of yourself. Join host Jackie Boyd for engaging and intriguing conversations. Now, Trust, Then Know, the Jackie Boyd.
Hello, and welcome back to the Trust and Know, the Jackie Boyd Podcast. We took a little break. We had a few changes, a little hair change, a little traveling, but we're back and we're so excited to be back on this 13th episode of the second season of the Trust and Know, the Jackie Boyd Podcast. Listen, we're going to always bring you people who have something to say. We come on every second and fourth Tuesday, although we've had a few differences over the last month and a half, but we usually come on every second and fourth Tuesday of the month, and we stream on all your major podcast platforms. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. All you have to do is put in Trust, T-R-U-S-T, then T-H-E-N, Know, K-N-O-W, and you'll find all of our episodes. Listen, I am so psyched to be sitting here today with one phenomenal man who is my guest on the Jackie Boyd Podcast tonight, and that is Mr. Pedro Lopez.
Thank you, Ms.
How
Jackie.
are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for letting me partake on this show. I know it's
Absolutely.
What a great opportunity to be sitting here next to you. I feel humbled in a sense, right? We met at the RE Bar Camp in January, and right away I think we felt we had a honest
energy.
connection. The energy was there, and
That's right.
here we are. So
No, listen, the reason why I wanted to have Pedro on the podcast is because you are so interesting.
Thank
I
you.
know when we met, we actually met at a
lunch and learn.
Yeah, at a lunch and learn.
Right.
And he is the regional director for 210 Home Warranty.
Home buyer's warranty. Yes.
Yep, and that company is owned by Front Door.
Front door. Yes.
Got you. And so you did a lunch and learn, and I came up to you because I really enjoyed everything you had to say. There were some questions, but I was going to wait and hold my question.
Yeah.
And so my question was, I had a 210 warranty, and it was a bad experience.
Right.
And so you said, oh, tell me about that. First of all, you didn't flinch. You didn't get defensive. You let me express, what my concerns were. And I think toward the end of the conversation or something, you said, hey, give us a chance.
Yeah.
Come back. Hey, let's see how we can change that experience.
Sure.
I really appreciated that. And then I saw you again.
Right.
And we were talking about some things. I said, man, you got great energy. And that's when we said, we have to stay connected.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that so much.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the least I can do after, making all of us just get soaked in the rain last week, right? That was fun in itself. What a great experience
What a
that
great
was.
experience
And
that
I think that just brought a different level of connectivity to our relationship and what we can bring to the table for the real estate industry, right?
That's right.
And all the positive we can do and stuff like that, because as you know, that's one of the things that I'm big on, and just, making sure that we focus on making our clients the number one priority.
That's right.
Whether they're a partner or whether they're somebody that we're helping purchase a home, list a property,
Right.
Bringing value to them.
Value.
Right?
That's right. And so this show tonight, this episode is, and my episodes are really general in nature. Even though I'm in the real estate industry and I am a realtor and a realtist, we don't always talk about real estate.
Right.
I just find people interesting, and I want to talk to interesting people just about what they're doing and how they're impacting and changing lives.
I appreciate that.
And so, but tonight is going to be a focus on real estate.
Love
because
that.
you have really have had a vast experience, and that's what intrigued me most. I'm like, how did you go from IT to being a regional director for 210? And so I wanted you to connect those dots for me, because as you were talking about what you did, I was just intrigued by that.
Yeah.
So this topic, when I think about our conversations, is like beyond the transaction, and how relationships, experiences, and culture helps to create a successful career.
100%.
Yes. And so let me just give our audience a little bit of background. So you speak 3 languages.
I do.
Okay.
English is my third.
Okay. Spanish, Portuguese, and English. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Fluently.
Fluently.
All 3. Okay. And you are Brazilian and Nicaraguan?
Yes, born in Nicaragua, raised in Brazil and Norway till I was 9 years old and came to the U.S.
Got you.
But yeah, so and then when I went off to college, my interest was in international business, global business, right? So I went to San Diego State and majored in international business with emphasis in marketing. Loved marketing.
Gotcha.
Right. Loved promotions, loved, creating brands and stuff like that. So that's what sparked my interest in that.
Got it. And you talked about how your father is an engineer.
Yes,
all of
power
your
electrical
uncles
engineer.
And his side of family engineer. And your mom was big in sales.
She was.
Which clearly is a people person,
100%.
people skill. You gotta have people skills. And you took that route.
I would say she had a big part in the influence in me wanting to get into a sales type career, right? She was a very successful businesswoman in Brazil. She became the vice president of a Canadian company in Brazil that basically sold carbon copies. I mean, that's how receipts were made back then, right? It's like businesses would actually have a need to purchase certain carbon copies or carbon paper to have accountability of their transactions. And I remember there were times where I wouldn't see my mom maybe for a week or two because she was traveling literally all of South America.
Gotcha.
And although, sometimes we would go days without seeing each other, I admired that about my mom.
Yeah.
Because she was a hustler.
You right. Admired her hustle.
And she had a lot of tenacity. She had a lot, and I remember being out on the field with her and learning and listening.
Yeah.
Like I was mentioning to you, I still remember a lot of their products.
Gotcha.
And we joke about it. So I think that kind of paved the road a little bit in my interest in wanting to get into sales a little bit.
Okay.
But I also have always been the type of person interested in meeting people and knowing people, right? And getting to know them and stuff like that. So, and I kind of cultivated that over the years. And it kind of built into the sales aspect of the business, right?
Understood. So you sold real estate. You sold real estate in San Diego.
So I got into real estate in 2002. A gentleman by the name of Eddie Deans. What's up, Eddie? He's a good friend of mine, who's now the vice president of a mortgage company up in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
But how I stumbled upon real estate was I literally was flipping through the pages of the San Diego Union Tribune. There was an ad that said loan officers needed, inquire today, start tomorrow. It was for a company called SD Refi. And at the time, there was a huge refinance boom going on. New bank products being introduced, the NEGAM, for payment options and stuff like that, which eventually became the demise to our industry, right? And the downfall because all those loans started defaulting. People
never thought you would be upside down in a mortgage.
Right. And what I learned during that experience is that there were a lot of people misleading their customers and not really properly selling the loan. Because it did benefit you in a lot of ways if you had 4 payment options. But I think a lot of other things happened. But point being is I started in real estate doing loans. Shortly after, obviously, you got to get your license. And then we moved over to another company called First National Home Loans, which was in the heart of La Jolla on Wall Street, next to the Saks Fifth Avenue, I remember. And real vibrant office, a lot more loan officers. People were double dipping deals because they had their real estate license. They were more, they were loan officers. Banks were offering points on the back, points in the front, sell the NEGAP. So people were making a ton of money, right? And I was fortunate enough to ride that wave, but I would say one of my biggest learning experiences during that time was the lack of financial literacy. Not knowing how to manage my money.
Gotcha.
At a very young age.
Okay.
20 years ago, I had a different mindset.
Yes.
I was, I'm not afraid to say I was probably still immature at the time, not realizing the opportunity that I had stumbled upon. And had this Pedro met that Pedro, he probably would have told him to do things a lot differently. But that's okay, because those are lessons in life,
Those are the
right?
lessons. That's right.
And that's what makes you better.
Right.
So that's how I stumbled up into real estate. And like I mentioned to you, I was exploring the whole entire master's program at the University of Miami for real estate development. They had just introduced that program. So I needed something to bridge the gap.
Gotcha.
Right. Before I actually enrolled, started going to the program, and finally made a decision to stay in real estate.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
However, in 2005, after I completed everything, I actually stumbled across an opportunity to work in real estate, but in technology.
On the tech side.
Right. So,
And that was not unfamiliar to you because you had, this was something that had been sparked.
Right.
And
the funny thing is this, it's like, so I'm sitting here working at a company that, at the Z57, one of the very first companies to introduce websites to real estate agents.
Okay.
Right? The territory they assigned to me was Kentucky.
Okay.
Well, what a little challenge, right? I mean, I made sure to push myself to excel. There was no way I wasn't going to excel in the role.
Gotcha.
And real quickly, I started to learn, like, okay, these are just online business cards. There really isn't any value for these agents that are getting charged all this money to build an online business card. How do they get traffic? What value is there to this? How does this help a consumer? There's got to be a way to have something on this website to retain that traffic. That's when I came across a company called One Park Place. They were an IDX provider.
Okay.
An independent IDX provider, but they also had launched their new solution called the Smart Boss, Strategic Marketing and Relationship Technology, their back office support system. Brilliant gentleman behind that project named Steve Hundley, who became one of, I would say, one of the people that influenced and helped me understand that I could make real estate marketing technology a career path in real estate.
Gotcha.
Right. And I truly loved technology, right? And so I left Z57 and took on the opportunity at One Park Place because, ironically enough, Eddie Deans, the gentleman that introduced me to real estate as a loan officer, had taken on a role with the company.
Okay.
And he was there for a short period of time because he wanted to explore getting back into leadership in the mortgages. But I stuck around with One Park Place for several years. What I loved about the company is that they were very innovative. In my opinion, they paved the road to a lot of companies like Boomtown Conversion, Commissions Inc., Zerple. Because if you think about it, back in 2005, there weren't very many companies, and I believe One Park Place was one of the few that actually had an all-inclusive marketing solution for agents that encompassed a website with already built-in IDX. Okay. Right, and that was key at that time, to have every single listing from the MLS on your website branded to you. Yes. You always have inventory on your website. Always. Right? You can always bring a consumer to the front end of your store, and there's always something to look at. Yeah. Yeah. But what was happening behind that website is what really excited me about the technology. Property updates sent out automatically. Okay. They had developed a behavioral analytical system that tracked activities of how the consumer was shopping for homes on the website, right? Which gave the agent a better understanding of how to start the conversation with that lead, right? Drip emails were being introduced. We built a drip email system with several campaigns with series of letters, from everything saying happy anniversary, happy birthday, to engaging emails, right? About real estate statistics and stuff like that, just to stay in front of the consumer. Right. So that was the revolution that we saw happening right before us of all-inclusive marketing solutions, right? And then you had other companies come up like Market Leader. Okay. Here comes Market Leader, and here's coming, Follow Up Boss, and all these other companies that saw the space being an opportunity to profit, right? And to grow. Gotcha. Which I really do believe that One Park Place did pave the road to a lot of these other companies that then came to be, right? And if I could tell you the amount of real estate professionals that have impacted this industry in so many ways that came from Z57, you'd be surprised. I mean, Zillow leaders, vice presidents of companies like Inside Real Estate, Bold Trail. Dave, Bold if Trail. You're going to watch this show, you know how impactful you've been. Because he's the reason why I moved out here. We moved out here to open up the satellite office for Zerpol in 2013.
Okay.
Because from 2009 to 2013, Zerpol experienced over 7,000% in growth. We became the 33rd fastest growing privately held company in the U.S. What was most impressive, though, is that we were number 6 in software development. Very first time that you ever found a real estate technology company ranked in the Inc. 5000 list. So high for software development.
That's awesome.
And we were doing something so cutting edge at that time that's what really sparked the growth. Our software was called Conversations. We were the very first, and we had a patent on it, but we were the very first company that actually corresponded with the lead as if it were the agent writing the email. Right? On a very personal basis. And they were very short and sweet. Hey, Jackie, I noticed that you looked at 123 Main Street 3 times. This property has appreciated in value, 20% over the last 2 years. Let me know if you're interested in going to look at this home.
And that was all the software.
And the best part about it is that we would alert the agent to tell him, hey, you have a lead that's actually interested in looking at this property. Are you going to take action, or should we let the software take action? So now we're playing a different game here. This is game changer. Now we're helping agents buy time. We're seeing higher conversion of leads, right? We're understanding that 78% of the transactions in real estate at that time were being done by agents that had the ability of engaging in a conversation first with their leads. Well, that is the name of our software. We create conversations. Right? We bring conversations to the table. Those conversations are your commissionable opportunities. So we opened up the Tech Connect partnership with Zillow. We were the very first company that Zillow actually allowed to come in and create an API to basically have their leads go into a CRM to help agents convert leads. And that opened up the floodgates for all the other companies to come in and say, well, if they're doing it, why can't we start doing it? Right. But we pioneered that. I remember that was December of 2013.
Amazing. Amazing. And you were involved in all of that. I
was part of the business development growth of Zerpol. I think at one point we were accounting for close to 60% of the new revenue coming into Zerpol because we were busting our asses. And when I tell you, I've had the opportunity and privilege of working with some of the best salespeople in this industry that are now top leaders at some of these big real estate tech companies. To me, that was a privilege, right?
Yes, that's a blessing.
In addition to being able to, at One Park Place, meet a gentleman who's been so impactful in real estate, Mr. Alan Dalton, considered one of the 25 most influential people in real estate. At the time, he was composing a chapter in a book with the president of One Park Place, Steve, on social media marketing. And Web 2.0. The development of hybrid blog sites. Whole entire new game, right? Now we're educating agents on how to compose dynamic content on their websites to help increase their visibility organically, right? So again, just bringing innovation and bringing different strategies to the industry that were really cutting edge, and help break the mold in doing real estate the traditional way, right? And I think when you're able to bring creativity to the table, you can grow your business and scale it at a different
rate and level.
100%, right?
I love it.
And that's what I love about real estate. Is that if you're open-minded and you get creative, right, you can excel pretty quickly.
The sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
So I'm hearing you, and I can definitely, your experience, obviously, on the technology side is, undeniable. So now walk us through you becoming the regional director of, and again, it's not about the title. It's not about the title. But it's the experience you had on the tech side under the real estate umbrella. But now you're in a completely different realm, still under the real estate umbrella.
Yes, ma'am.
But how did you go from that to this?
Right. So funny thing is that Zerpol, all good things come to an end. We got acquired by a massive software acquisition company out of Canada called Constellation Software. And as I saw most of my colleagues leaving and going to other companies, I decided to stick around. And I stuck around Zerpol until October 2019.
Okay.
And at that time, Steve from One Park Place was getting ready to launch his new project called the Genie AI.
Genie AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just thinking about this the other day after I completed my course on artificial intelligence at the University of Miami, how ahead of this time this gentleman still was. Because although I understood the concept of the Genie AI, I really didn't comprehend what aggregation of data meant. And being able to use artificial intelligence to quickly aggregate that data and deliver that data in ways that simplified being able to display that data.
Got it.
And now that I reflect back on what the Genie AI was doing, I'm still mesmerized of how ahead of his time he was.
Yeah.
Right? Because
that's where we are now.
Yeah. And again, he did that because before he built One Park Place, he built the whole entire First American system with iStrategy and sold it to them.
Wow.
Right? And then here comes his next innovation, the next innovation, the next one. So when I say I've been able to benefit from these experiences and being in front of the right people at the right time and seeing how things can take off, I feel like that in itself has been an opportunity of a lifetime, right? And it really did pave the road into me being in the place that I am today.
Gotcha.
And I think one of the reasons that my resume caught an eye to Front Door was maybe because of my past history in real estate, because I knew nothing about warranties.
Wow.
Zero, right? But I know real estate.
You know real estate.
Yeah. I felt confident enough that I knew real estate, right?
And we talked about this, you had the foundation and you had there are these transferable skills that regardless of what industry you're in,
Sure.
that they can go into any door. If you have those skills, people skills, you know, negotiation skills, in being an influencer.
Absolutely.
You know,
I don't even consider
skills.
myself that though.
I mean, you're able to influence people. You just having that positive energy. You know, and that when people who are looking at numbers, that brings customers because you attract people.
Absolutely.
And so I can see why they said, okay, we're going to take a chance on this guy, even though he doesn't know anything about home warranty. And then you're teachable.
Yeah.
Your education shows that. And being a sponge for education, you can learn anything.
100%. You have to be eager to learn. You have to humble yourself and always understand that you don't know everything.
Right.
And there's always opportunity to grow and learn.
Right.
Right. And be a good listener because there's a lot of good stuff that's being, talked about and conversations. And if you happen to catch yourself in the right place at the right time, you might listen to that conversation that may impact your future.
That's right.
Right?
Because everything is not always, when we talked about this, it's not a 1 + 1 = 2 ROI or 1 + 1 = 2 benefit. Sometimes you have to go, you take a different route.
I agree.
In impacting people is not always, I'm going to give this and I know I'm going to get this back. It's no, I'm going to give this and I'm going to give this and I'm going to do this. And it'll come. Right. You know what I mean? But it's the impact. And so that leads me into my next point. Even within your role, like what's so intriguing, I'll watch some of your videos. I'm like, is this guy a pseudo agent? He must be a pseudo agent. Yeah. Because how is a home warranty? Again, because you think out of the box.
I appreciate that. And that's one of the things that I think when I took on the challenge of coming into this industry, there were a lot of variables of things that were happening behind the scenes. So my mission was to, number one, how do I create a brand for myself, right? I humbled myself because I'm entering into a space where nobody knew me. I knew a lot of contacts in real estate, but how are those contacts really going to benefit me right now? Right. When I need to learn something completely new, right? And on top of that, I came into Front Door during a time that we were still going through the final steps of integration and acquisition from Front Door to 210, or from 210 to Front Door, right? Which that didn't scare me any, because we went through that with Zerpal, the Constellation, and so forth. And the quicker you're able to pivot and adapt to those changes, the better you're going to be. So who cares if we're learning new systems? That's just part of the game.
Right.
It's how quickly you adapt and you're able to move along.
That's right.
That will help you pave the road to being able to accomplish your goals and set up your systems, right? Because a gentleman that I used to follow by the name of Grant Cardone had a one-liner that always stuck out. Losers have goals, winners have systems. Right. And I do believe that.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be the best at something.
Yeah.
But if you have the right system and you're consistent, right, and you're persistent, you will win.
Yes.
Right?
That's inevitable.
I agree. And I do believe in that a lot. And I also do believe that, I believe the saying goes, you kill what you eat, not what you're fed.
I like that.
And that's something that recently really resonated with me, because I started thinking to myself, okay, I inherited a phenomenal book of business here at 210. The last 12 months, I focused on getting to know who the key players in that book of business are. And what I realized is that there's a lot of loyalty still, which is great, as there should be. However, I do believe that there are people that still aren't doing their due diligence in figuring out what the best is going to be for their customer, which should be your top priority.
Always.
Right? So from there, I started to think to myself, okay, so I need to put on the gas and what I want to accomplish. So going back to, you eat what you kill, prospecting is prosperity, right? That's what's going to fuel the growth.
That's what's going to fuel.
And that's where my new relationships are going to help me bring to the table the growth that I want.
Gotcha.
Right?
I love something you said earlier when we were talking. One of your videos I watched, and you everything about you said, I'm an agent.
I know.
And I am promoting this listing that I have. It wasn't, obviously you're not an agent, so it wasn't a listing, but those are connections that you have. And here's again, we talked about it. Hey, $1 million property, $800,000 to $2 million property doesn't necessarily need a home warranty.
No.
However, you were supporting
my network,
your network,
my team,
your team. You made a phenomenal video,
right?
And now that owner, right, or that buyer won't need a home warranty, but somebody in that network might see that house and they know you.
Exactly.
Right. And so it's going to come back some kind of way. That's the creativity that you offer. You're taking out brokerages to the ballpark, to the happy hour, to, you're building relationships.
Well, that was, the concept behind that was gratitude. I'm 12 months in the game. How can I go back and say thank you? So that's why I started doing the Jumbo Shrimp events.
I love it.
My goal is to continue to create a network of individuals that are like-minded and understand that real estate is a very fulfilling career. We're doing something great for people and helping them accomplish lifetime goals, purchasing their first home. Right? And if we can figure out a system to do it right from A to Z, and nothing has to be perfect, but just having the right individuals
with the right heart.
Yeah, it becomes systematic, right?
It becomes systematic.
It's like, I want anybody that I build a relationship with to feel confident enough that I'm going to take care of their clients the same level of respect, professionalism, attention that you're going to give to them.
That's
right?
Exactly.
And I want you to feel confident that I'm going to commit to doing that.
That's right.
It's like, I understand that it's a reflection of your business. It's a reflection of your brokerage's business. And it's a bare minimum expectation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, if you're going to give me a chance, you better believe I'm not going to drop the ball.
Right. That's right.
So, and I hope I earn the opportunity of being able to work.
Yep. Earn the trust.
Exactly.
Exactly. I love it. And that in our business, you know, everything rises and falls, I believe, on trust.
I agree. Yeah, and again, for me, when I see agents operating like that, or anybody that's just thinking about their commission, right? They're not thinking about the bigger picture.
Right.
Real estate also, your business relies heavily on referrals,
That's right.
right?
That's
People
right.
have aunts, brothers,
That's right.
sisters, cousins, friends, extended family, right? Those are business opportunities you can tap into if you do the right thing from the beginning.
Exactly.
Right? And look, I'm one to sit here and be completely transparent and tell you that have I dropped the ball over the last 12 months? Absolutely.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I'm
We
not
all have.
perfect.
Right.
But have I gone back and try to clean up whatever mess or whatever situation I may have miscommunicated on? Because that's taking ownership that I'm human, I screwed up, let me fix it.
That's right.
But at the same time, I also realized that some of those mistakes were not led by me because there's so many other people involved,
Right.
right? With their hands in the cookie jar
Yeah.
in this industry.
Yeah.
We're in the warranty business, right?
Right.
I'm only one part of the equation.
Gotcha.
Right? There are people that handle claims. There are people that handle cases. There are people behind the scenes that are supposed to work in conjunction with you.
Right.
And sometimes we make mistakes.
We make mistakes. But what's to me, and I talk about this a lot. When a person comes to me, I'm a consumer. We're both consumers.
Absolutely.
When I call,
I have a 210 policy, by the way.
when I call someone about something, the last thing I want to hear is that, oh, that's not me. You know, I want, even if it's not you,
Right.
I want you to hear me, to understand what my needs are, and say, you know what? I don't handle that, but let me help you. Let me help get you
Yes.
to the right person. I'm sorry you had to experience that. Let me help you get to where, and I'll make sure, you know, here's my number. If I can give a number, here's my number. Call me if you have any problems.
Yeah.
Taking ownership
100%.
is so important because as a consumer, the last thing you want to hear is somebody or feel as if you're not being heard or someone's just passing you along.
Yes.
That's not good.
And I'll tell you what, Jackie, that tends to happen in our industry a lot.
It does.
And my mission is to help streamline communication.
Well, I want to, as we wrap up, I do want to talk a little specifically about 210 in comparison to some of the others out there.
Yeah.
So I know Front Door is the parent company.
It is our parent company. It's a fantastic company. Our leadership is absolutely amazing. And I'm so fortunate to be part of an organization like that.
Got you. And now there's 210 in that parent company.
That is the most recent acquired brand underneath the Front Door umbrella, yes.
There's American Home Shield.
American Home Shield is our marquee brand underneath that umbrella.
Got you. So I know inquiring minds want to know, with you all both being under that umbrella of Front Door, are you competitors?
Of course, I think we all compete in the space, right? Because we service the warranty business.
Yeah.
So do we compete against Old Republic, Fidelity, First American, American Home Shield? Of course, because we are in the warranty business.
Okay.
However, I think every warranty company has their benefits.
Gotcha.
And as a real estate professional, it's your responsibility to do the due diligence, and figure out which eligible coverage is going to service your clients the best.
Got it.
Right? Don't sell the relationship. Sell the benefit and value to your client to why this coverage is going to keep them better protected and make home ownership a lot easier.
Right.
I just think every company offers different benefits.
Okay.
Now, do I believe 210 is a powerhouse warranty brand? 100%. We've been around for well over 40 years.
Okay.
We're the only company that offers new construction coverage, structural coverage, right? Systems and appliance coverage for after the builder coverage ends for years 2, 3, and 4. Since we've become part of the Front Door umbrella, our pricing is a lot more competitive. Less cost, more coverage.
Gotcha.
Right? We are taking into consideration the consumer and how can we make this better for the consumer?
Okay.
Right? How can we become more price appealing to them?
Okay.
Right? And how can we remove the skepticism that home warranties are not valuable whatsoever? I think the value is far superior than the risk you will take not having a home warranty.
Got you.
Right? And the best part is when I'm able to hear people that have come on board with 210 tell me like, that was the best thing I could have done for myself.
Yeah.
Because historically, according to NAR, within the first 60 days, a new homeowner will experience some sort of turbulence in their home.
That's right.
And it could be something as minimal as my ice maker is not making me ice to your HVAC completely going out, right? And you had the opportunity of getting a warranty, but you didn't because you, number one, you may have not done the research yourself or you weren't properly consulted by your real estate professional. That's their role.
Right.
And then if they even miss discussing
Right.
the fact that they had an opportunity to purchase a warranty, that's impacting your business. That's poor risk management for your business, right? Now you're taking a risk of not even earning a commission check because you didn't tell that person, hey, look, you could have had that refrigerator protected. Now you're giving them the money to replace that refrigerator.
Yeah.
So, and I hear that. I hear stories like that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I just talked to an agent today. She was like, it's going to fall back on me. I was like, no, it's not, because I'm going to help you fix it. Right? And it was something very small, an ice maker.
Wow.
Right? So, and again, just a conversation, I hear that, you know, the reason why I stopped doing this was because I couldn't get in contact with the person, or I had bad customer service, and I get it, right? But I do believe everybody deserves a second chance.
Yeah.
I'm on a mission to build a brand, a reputation that stands strong in the warranty space and industry, like 210 has always had.
Okay.
And the fact that we're backed by Front Door now,
That's huge.
it'd be silly of you to not consider 210, or at least have a conversation,
Right.
right? But I love the fact that we're able to utilize a platform like this to help bring a spotlight to the fact that there are good real estate professionals out there that want to look out for the consumer, and we want to bring value.
Yeah.
And we want to create a network of professionals that are like-minded and want to do good for the industry.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not always about our commission check,
This is
right?
true. It's-
Those will come.
They will come, and like I said, sometimes it's not a 1 + 1 = 2 ROI.
right.
It's not. It goes a different route. You know, it will always come. So
You know, they say that the biggest impact you will make in your career and becoming successful is allowing yourself to partake on the growth of that individual's success. Right? Because then they're going to want to be part of that.
yeah,
And the best businesses were not built behind closed doors.
yes,
They were built by leaders that opened doors for other people to come be part of that, right? And when you're able to wrap your head around certain things like that, you start seeing growth happen.
Yes.
Organically.
That's right.
Like we're seeing at some of these events or some of these networks or broker opens that are taking place. So I'm excited to be back in the industry.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be able to share moments like this, get to know more agents, and just kick butt, smile, and repeat.
I love it. Kick butt, smile, and repeat. I like that. Pedro, thank you so much.
You're very welcome,
Thank
Jackie.
you
It's been my
so
pleasure.
much. Absolutely, absolutely. And again, just a wealth of experience, relationships, experience, and culture.
Yes.
You know, beyond the transaction, help you to discover and develop a very successful career.
I love that. Beyond the transaction, because as I mentioned to you, I do have the vision of a podcast, and we talked about it. And that podcast is called Beyond the Front Door.
Wow.
Because, as you know, our corporation is called Front Door. But I think there's a lot more beyond the front door.
Yes, there is.
So
There
be on the
is.
lookout for our podcast.
Okay.
It'll come out soon, and you will be a guest.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen. Thanks again, Pedro. I really
Absolutely. It's
appreciate
my
it.
pleasure, Jackie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Listen, guys, I hope that you got a lot out of this man's conversation. He shared so much with us and dropped so many nuggets about, beyond the transaction, how our relationships, our experience, and our culture can help us to develop and to discover a wonderful career, whether it's in real estate or not. So we have to use those experiences. We have to cultivate relationships, and we have to be able to connect and impact people. That's what it's all about. And you will make your space better by doing those things. So listen, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Trust and Know, the Jackie Boy Podcast. As I stated, we come on all your major podcast platforms: Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. All you have to do is put in Trust, Trust, then THEN, Know, KNOW, and you'll find all of our episodes. And we're always going to bring you people who have something to say. Because at the end of the day, we want you to get the information you need to help you become the best version of yourself. So until next time, remember to trust and know. Bye.
Thank you for listening and watching this episode of Trust, Then Know, the Jackie Boy Podcast. We hope this episode has left you informed, intrigued, and inspired to become your best self. Remember to tune in every second and fourth Tuesday of the month and trust, then know.
Hi, welcome to 3010 Sterrett Road. 12.6 acres of endless possibilities. Whether an owner, occupant, builder, or developer, this property will not disappoint. It will actually put you in awe. If you're interested in the possibilities that this property can show you, then reach out and contact me. I'll be glad to share.